So in the recent Pokémon Presents, we got a brand new Pokémon Scarlet and Violet DLC trailer, and this one revealed a ton of new information and told us a lot of interesting details about both halves of the DLC. However, for as much as it told us, there were also a lot of things that it didn't tell us as well that have resulted in some really interesting mysteries that we're probably just going to have to keep wondering about until the DLC's release a little bit later in September for the Teal Mask and sometime in winter for the Indigo Disc. And since these mysteries are so intriguing, I thought I would go ahead and make a video about them in order to be able to discuss them in a little more detail and bring them to the forefront just a little bit more. So let's go ahead and check it out. So today's mysteries are being brought to you in part by today's mega awesome sponsor, Dave. Videos like this don't just poof out of the sky. They cost money to create. And Dave is great when it comes to money because Dave is the banking app that's leveling the financial playing field. When you download Dave, you could get up to $500 in 5 minutes or less. No credit check, no late fees. It's part of Dave's Extra Cash account. Advance the money you need with no interest and then settle up later. Plus, paying back the money on time can even help you to establish and improve your credit. You can also get this extra cash instantly for a small fee or for free in just 1 to 3 business days. Everyone could always use a little extra money, and we've all been in that situation before where you've got something you gotta pay for, but payday is still a little ways away. And Dave basically helps to bridge that gap and get you that money when you need it to take care of whatever you need to. So if that sounds like something that interests you, you can download Dave today at dave.com/hoops. That's dave.com/hoops. You could get up to $500 in 5 minutes or less. No credit check, no late fees. For terms and conditions, go to dave.com/legal. Eligibility criteria and instant transfer fees apply. Banking services provided by Evolve, member FDIC. Again, download the Dave app now or go to dave.com/hoops with the link below. And a big thank you to Dave once again for supporting the channel. Okay, so the first mystery I want to talk about is the mystery of the mystery Pokémon of the Teal Mask. In this new trailer, we got the reveal of a character named Perrin, and not only is she basically everyone's new waifu, she's also the descendant of Adaman from Pokemon Legends Arceus. Furthermore, she's also the center of what seems to be a pretty significant side quest within the Teal Mask, where she is trying to take a photo of a certain mysterious unnamed Pokemon, and she wants you to help out with that. Now, personally, at first, I thought this Pokemon was meant to be Ogerpon, because this is taking place within the Teal Mask portion of the DLC. However, the trailer, the presents, and even the website very specifically mention this Pokemon as a mysterious Pokemon, and a certain Pokemon that isn't specified by name. We already know Ogerpon very well by name, so if it were Ogerpon, it probably would have been mentioned by its name, meaning that this is in fact a Pokemon we haven't seen to this point, and it is very specifically a mystery. And because it is being advertised at this time as very specifically a mystery, that not only means that it is a mystery, but also that this Pokemon is most likely going to be pretty significant in some way, shape, or form. It also probably means that it's a brand new Pokemon that they don't want to quite show us yet, so it's very intriguing what this Pokemon could be, and what it could mean, and what its significance ultimately is. And while this might not have any connection to who the Pokemon is itself, it's very interesting that this whole quest is being conducted by the descendant of Adaman, so it'll be interesting to see if there are any Legends Arceus connections going on here. I honestly think this sounds like a really fun quest, and the Teal Mask as a whole is shaping up to be really cool based on what we learned about it in this latest trailer. So I'm very excited to find out who this mystery Pokemon is, what its significance could ultimately be, and if you guys have any ideas about what you think it could be, you'll definitely have to let me know in the comments below. Next up, we're going to talk about another new character that was revealed in this trailer, and that would be Briar. Briar is apparently someone from the Blueberry Academy who's going to escort you down to the land of Kitakami in the Teal Mask portion of the DLC. And since she's from the Blueberry Academy, she will probably have a role to play within that half of the DLC as well. The thing that is so mysterious about her, though, is that if you take a closer look at her jacket suit coat thing, you'll notice that it has some designs that are actually the very same designs that we see on the logos of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet themselves. These symbols within the logos have been a hot point of discussion basically since we got the logos revealed to us, and now that we have a character wearing them, it adds to the mystery even more and likely means that we're going to find out what they actually mean more specifically. Furthermore, Briar is even more intriguing because not only does she have these symbols from the logos on her clothes, but her clothes are colored Scarlet and Violet, which are obviously the two names and colors that represent these games. And furthermore, she becomes even more intriguing when you take a look at her earrings and realize that they are in the shape of a Terra Crystal, and it even says on the Scarlet and Violet website that she has a keen interest in the terastallization phenomenon. So this lady is going to be much more than just a field trip escort like she is being portrayed right now, and it is my personal opinion that she is going to be the key to everything that happens in this DLC as far as the story, and especially as it concerns the hidden treasure of Area Zero, like the title of the DLC suggests. I would even go so far as to say that I could very much see her being the main villain of it all, and the person who is actually pursuing this treasure and knows what it actually is. So we're definitely going to need to keep a close eye on her, because there's definitely much more going on with her than we currently know about at the moment. And speaking of this hidden treasure of Area Zero, it is honestly a mystery in and of itself. We've obviously known since Pokemon Scarlet and Violet came out that there is a treasure of some kind that people have been trying to find within Area Zero for hundreds and even thousands of years. It's been speculated and thought that this could be the Terra Crystals or possibly even Terapagos, since it is obviously the terrestrial Pokemon, but in the latest trailer, we were obviously shown Terapagos. We've seen it, we know what it looks like, but the Area Zero treasure was almost referred to as if it was a completely separate thing entirely, and as if it is something that we are going to have to discover separate from Terapagos. There's also the point that's worth mentioning that Terapagos is the signature legendary Pokemon of the second half of the DLC, which is obviously the Indigo Disc, which deals and centers around Blueberry Academy. However, the ultimate hidden treasure of Area Zero is going to be within Area Zero, and this trailer said how everything will ultimately wrap back around to Paldea, and we'll get to find out what the treasure truly is once we make it to that point. So based on what was said within the trailer and the presents, and based on the information that we are currently being given, it seems like there could be something different and separate going on with this hidden treasure of Area Zero than just Terapagos itself. I could be wrong, but that was kind of the impression that I was getting, and so I'm going to be very, very interested to finally discover this treasure and see if it is in fact Terapagos, or if there's something else along with Terapagos that we have to discover. And since we're talking about Terapagos, we might as well talk about the other signature legendary of this DLC as well, Ogerpon. Ogerpon in and of itself is kind of a mystery because obviously its design has it wearing some kind of mask that is concealing its actual identity, and this mask is pretty much all we've been able to see from Terapagos in terms of its appearance to this point. That is very much the central theme of this Pokemon, is that this mask is covering what it truly looks like, but in the latest trailer we saw a very brief clip where the mask had fallen off of Terapagos, presumably teasing that we are going to be able to see what this Pokemon actually looks like behind the mask. And I think that's something that we all kind of presumed would be the case, but nevertheless, it's definitely built up a sense of intrigue and mystery concerning what this Pokemon actually looks like. We still don't really know much of anything about it in terms of its typing or anything like that, or if it maybe possibly has different forms, like a masked form or an unmasked form. There's still a lot of secrets to this Pokemon, just like there is with a lot of the other parts of the DLC, and since this one is very specifically meant to be a mystery that we're just gonna have to wait until we can play the DLC to find out about, I think it's one that's really interesting to speculate about, and I'm really interested to finally see what Ogerpon actually looks like. Now, one of the biggest things from this trailer is all of the connections and hints to some kind of Unova game that at this point we are definitely going to be getting in the near future. There's basically no doubting it at this point, but I actually made a whole video about that already where I go in depth and explain why this trailer essentially confirmed that we're going to be getting a Black and White 3 or a Legends Unova of some kind, most likely in the near future. So if you want to learn more about that, you can check out that video by clicking the iCard on screen. And so for our fifth big mystery, I am instead going to talk about a mystery person that appears within this trailer instead. This mystery person is very specifically portrayed as a mystery because they are focused on quite significantly, but we never see their face, and their actual identity is kept very deliberately a secret. This comes during the Indigo Disc portion of the trailer, where we get to meet and get a better look at all of the various characters from this half of the DLC, and then we end up seeing a character whose face isn't shown, but based on the context of the trailer and where we see them, they seem to be a very important character of some kind. They seem to be someone that we're going to be able to battle at some point based on the very brief clips that we see them in, and based on what we learned about the other four main characters from this part of the DLC, which is essentially that they make up an Elite Four that the Blueberry Academy has themselves. I am personally thinking that this character could be the champion of that Elite Four. Because if there's one thing that we know about Elite Fours, it's that you can't really have an Elite Four without having a champion. So I would suspect that there is definitely a character that fills that role for this Elite Four, and I feel like it's probably this character. The other really interesting thing, though, is why would they want to keep this character's identity a secret from us? Is it simply just to build up hype because they are the champion, or are they keeping it a secret because maybe it's someone that we are familiar with and know about, and it's going to be a big revelation when they are revealed to be at Blueberry Academy, possibly as its champion? Without letting our minds run too wild and getting too overhyped, I definitely think this is one of the more interesting parts of this trailer because they definitely portray this person as very mysterious and significant. So I can't wait to find out who they actually are. With that said though, those are some of the biggest mysteries from this latest DLC trailer that I personally found and wanted to talk about. If you guys have any thoughts or opinions or ideas about any of these mysteries, be sure to let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear your thoughts. Be sure to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed and subscribe for more if you're new. If you like what I do here and want to further support the channel as well, I highly recommend and would definitely appreciate checking out my Pokémon remixes on Spotify, as well as pretty much every other music streaming service that is out there. It's really easy to listen. You can just pop whatever remix of mine you like into one of your playlists, and it directly supports the channel right back here immensely. So consider giving that a look if you're able to, and it's greatly appreciated for anyone who does or already is. With that being said, I'll be back with another new video as well very soon, and until then, as always, thank you guys so much for watching this one. I really appreciate it, and I will smell you guys later.